Pound Stand-Up with Daria and Bel. Happy Friday!
Happy Friday. So our dances are going to become wilder and wilder. Is this it?
Yeah. Well, they're just gonna, I don't have that many dance moves, so we'll see how they circle back. Maybe I'll do one of these boys.
Love dancing. There is nothing, and I think people think I'm quite restrained. There's nothing more than I love than just laying my shit down on the dance floor. For hours and hours and hours, I can dance. I love rave.
I love to
techno.
dance. I just can't do it.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Well, it depends what you mean by can't do it, right? So like, I can dance. Okay, we don't need to get into danceability. I actually think I wanted to, before we start talking about dancing, I was going to say, I think this was quite a good week. For me anyway, maybe not for you. I was energized this week.
I'm so energized because we're going through some changes. We're going through some massive changes. And with that, you find some people are sort of resistant to change. Other people are, let's dive in and do it. I think we're being cautiously optimistic. I mean, it's huge changes. The more things change, the more they stay the same. But it's kind of interesting. If you're resistant to change, you're digging a hole for yourself. The market changes all of the time.
Oh man, what a transition.
Lewis goes to Ferrari.
What a transition,
Taylor
Belinda.
goes to Tokyo, I know. Is she flying back? It was kind of, I feel like we've been on a high since Sunday.
We've definitely been on a high since Sunday. Here's my current clown theory.
Oh my gosh.
She has the album. She announces Reputation tomorrow night. She flies back and she performs something with Usher.
At the Super Bowl.
Yeah, she won't. She won't perform at the Super Bowl. It almost like muddies down her performances, I feel like, if she does that. But I do. Did you see the most recent thing I sent you? The most recent theory?
I did not see. I did actually see a bit of it, but there were just too many numbers. And it was just...
There were so many numbers.
It was too much. And
the gist of it, again, Taylor does not... What got me is that Taylor does not use random numbers. We know she doesn't use... she's obsessed with numerology. She's obsessed with numbers. So when she said 175 years ago and 175 days from the day that she said that number was the day that she basically announced Reputation last time. At least the date.
I mean, it's crazy. Let's see.
That can't be a coincidence.
Let us see.
But I guess we will see.
So
and she keeps doing this two thing. I think she's announcing it tomorrow. I don't know when it's going to be released. I think she's announcing it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Well, she kept doing 2. She did 2 when she won the Grammy.
But that could be 11.
It could be. Oh God, I don't know.
It's too much. All right, but let's talk about that. So let's not talk about that. Changes into the 2024 season for oh my God, what was that?
The transition.
Jesus. Changes by Daria and Bel. Coming soon. Big changes.
And
so let's talk about that, because this is what you want us to talk about today. We've seen so many people in a post-COVID world have these online businesses. Sometimes they start in D2C, strictly online, and then suddenly their products are swept up by brick and mortar, by big bucks.
Well, I think we need to step back even more when we talk about changes and when we talk about buyer behavior and tendencies, right? So obviously, the first way you bought things was like at a market from a merchant. Then more recently, we've had stores. I would say 2008, there wasn't all that much eCommerce.
No.
There was some eBay. There was Amazon obviously existed, but there wasn't like eCommerce as we know it. Then obviously things started to shift a little bit, right? And I don't even know, I have to look at a graph, I'd be interested. I don't even think retail went down so much. I think just all spending went up.
Yeah.
But percentage wise, the percentage of sales from retail to e-commerce obviously has been kind of getting closer and closer together. And then I think with COVID, we saw a big swing towards e-commerce because people weren't leaving the house.
Yeah.
Obviously, grocery and stuff, there was just so much that people, one, again, spending went crazy, but also people were buying online. And now I think, like, I remember once when COVID started to kind of ease out, people were like, oh, I can try things on, like buying things in store, touching, feeling, all of that kind of came back. And I think what's interesting is that buyer behavior is not set in stone. And just because this is how this is where buyers buy this, doesn't mean it's where they will always buy this. And I think that, you want to sell your products on multiple channels. Every single original, like digitally native brand is now also carried in stores or on another marketplace, right? Allbirds, MeUndies, no one is single channel anymore. It's just you have to get in front of more people.
It is. Well, it's just kind of interesting. It's people just can't. They can't afford to just be online.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you get to a specific size, you just plateau. You can't keep. No. I don't think there's unlimited growth in one channel, so you have to diversify. And again, it's like, who was I talking to recently? I was talking to some other agency people about technology and diversifying your understanding of technology, and how even crypto, like if you put all your eggs in the crypto basket, not great, right? You can put some eggs in a lot of places and you diversify. So it's the same thing with online sales, right? Or with brand sales in general.
It is.
And I think
where I don't want to say marketers. Is it product managers? Because it's not e-com managers necessarily of brands. Is it, dare I say,
well, I don't know what you're trying to say, so I can't answer you.
They're short-sighted.
Correct.
Because they are thinking of the two channels as absolutely separate. And because we're having so much success in one, we're going to diminish the other one. Or we're just going to let it be and let it become, what do we say in America? A brochure, an online lookbook.
Yeah.
And they're very short-sighted here. Because the whole circle, it's a circle of where your customers are interacting with your brand. And like our favorite brander, Arnava, always says, it's about the story, isn't it? There are so many touch points. And I just think so many brands are like, oh, we're D2C and somehow we're D2C and we have one of our own stores because we're really cool and we're too high end for anybody else. And then you have other people that are like, hey, we're making a killing in Walmart. So you know what? We don't care about the 25% that we're making online. It just doesn't matter.
Well, and here's where it gets challenging, right? Because let's take a simple-ish example of a successful D2C brand that branched into kind of big box wholesale. So they're carried in Walmart or Walmart or Target, etc. Number one is you almost have to treat them as separate businesses that feed off of each other, right? So it's separate businesses that are related. And I say this because many things. One, you make less money per unit from big box, obviously. You sell a lot at one time, but you make less per unit. You're selling at wholesale, they still need to sell it. And you obviously have, most of these big box stores have agreements in place where like our price has to be the best price. Like you can't sell it for less, which is always challenging for a D2C retailer. But you don't have to let your online store go to waste. And I think probably the best advice I could give is to provide more value from online than in store. So what does that mean? Is your product something that needs to be replenished a lot? If it is, what sort of subscriptions are you offering?
Yeah.
And if you're offering subscriptions, what sort of customization to those subscriptions are you offering? And what is your, what sort of management do you have in place for your subscription? So when I say that, I mean, how easy is it to pause, to cancel? There's always elements of You need to make it easy for the customer, and you need, there's so many products I can think of that historically I bought in a store that I certainly don't buy in a store now. Let's take hair care, for example, and I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent. Hair care, always, CVS, Garnier Fructis, whatever. But now there's so many online hair care brands, and as someone with curly hair, I need to be changing what I put in my hair.
Every, like 3 to 4 months?
Every 3 to 6 months, I would say. It just like stops working. My hair follicles are just like, F you, I don't like you. So again, I think people just make this mistake of like again, let's take this company that I was just talking about where they sell in Target and online. I can't understand why you wouldn't focus the same amount. Like, even if your sales dip, because a lot of your customers are now, like, customers that you already had are now buying you in store. That doesn't mean you can't get more customers back online through the way you originally got customers online.
Yeah.
Right?
And
does that make sense?
Complete sense. Absolutely. And it's not about price point. It is about providing value. And subscriptions is a great way to do that. Another thing about big box is they may be able to buy that product or that variant there, but they may not be able to buy your entire range next to each other. Mm-hmm. So how can we bundle? Mm-hmm. Another thing is, I know everyone talks about discounts, but I like value adds. I love a tote. I love a tote. Or a thing. It doesn't need to be a tote. That's an example of something that's low price.
The number of times I could tell my plant story. But for those who haven't heard, I went to buy one plant. I ended with 3 plus a tote just for a free tote. That's it. I love it. Plant life.
Totes are great.
I love it.
And that they can't
good
necessarily
totes are great.
Get.
I have tote feedback. Your tote should always have a gusset. If you've
absolutely.
ever bought totes, you know what I'm talking about. Do not get a gussetless tote. It makes me hate the brand immediately. Immediately.
I do like a gusset. I mean, I like a gusset on a lot of things, sweetheart.
Josh owns jeans that have a gusset. The brand is great. It's like it allows for like more wear and tear.
It does. If you're gussety kind of guy. I don't know what kind of wear and tear one would need, but
like thigh chafing.
No, exactly. I mean, if you're walking a lot and thigh.
Well, Josh has like 2 pairs of jeans, so it's like he needs. I did buy him 2 jeans.
I have 1 pair of jeans. I refuse.
Well, you also live in the summer, so it's like
but I wear them just about. Okay, today I'm not wearing pants, but I wear them all the time. It's because I refuse to buy jeans. I cannot find jeans that fit me. Totally separate topic. We're getting off topic now.
We are getting off topic.
I believe in the value add, not always the discount. So what can you give them? Also, everyone going into a big box store is potentially a new customer for you.
Well, and it's funny because I have a friend who is in this sort of situation, and she has noticed that they get a lot of website visitors from the big box stores learning about the product.
I think that's
and
great.
I have certainly been in a store, looked up a product, and then bought the product online because they offered something more that I couldn't get in the store.
I love that.
Like a free tote.
I love that. It's just
I think
they're just not thinking about it the right way around. They're thinking, oh well, we'll just keep the online store because people go there to learn about it or learn more, or they use it as a price reference. They're just
price
there
reference,
when they're
get information. I think what else is interesting, and I understand why this would need to be necessary at the start, but let's say you have business A, which is your online store that's doing $5 million a year. This is all fake information. Doing $5 million a year. You get a great big box contract. They're going to buy $500,000 worth to start as an initial PO. You're like, oh, you're very excited, but nothing's really changing. That then grows and grows and grows. And online starts to dip a little bit. Also due to privacy laws, etc., advertising is less functional than it used to be. So you kind of see this thing where the big box is growing. They're buying more and more and more. It's succeeding. And online is going down, maybe even to 3 million, let's say. And all of a sudden your big box is at 15. I understand why, if you're looking at that as a single unit, you say, oh, well, online isn't working and big box is. Yeah. So let's just change our strategy. Let's change our marketing strategy. Let's go more towards brand marketing instead of kind of direct product marketing, so that now when people are in store, more people know about the brand. Because like probably I would say the 2 to 3 parts of success that you can affect in big box success, I don't know if that sentence made sense, is your brand marketing and making sure people know about you, your price, obviously, and your product packaging, and that it kind of stands out against the competition. Yeah. And I just think that if you instead said, okay, I see this growing, let me treat this as kind of its own business with its own P&L and its own targets, and let me treat online this, like, again, they feed off of each other, but they're not the same.
No, they're not.
So again, I think instead of like, well, our marketing budget is this, you have to say, well, our big box marketing, wholesale marketing versus online marketing, and just kind of really, really separate them. And again, just don't, I really don't think there's any need to just let a really successful channel go to waste.
No, I don't either, especially if that's how you got into big box with online success.
Well, that's also huge. Oh my God, the number of people, sorry.
No, you were going to say. The number of people.
I was gonna say that, like, the way people even get into big box now is by demonstrating online success.
Correct.
That's basically the only way to get in, or to like have a cousin who like manages purchasing at a store.
I think you're exactly right. And the exciting thing is, although the data is more complicated, you can actually show the two different businesses. You know, you're splitting your businesses completely, and you can track how one business is influencing the other. Seriously.
Yeah.
You can do channel marketing, you can do attribution, you can see if people are coming and just using your site for information. I don't know that necessarily matters, because that channel, then, that business is helping your wholesale business.
Correct.
I love a QR code. Put a QR code. Start on your products, on your packaging.
Well, and that you can. This is exactly what you were saying, but that's exactly how you track it, right? Put a QR code.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing, and this is so funny, right? Because even let's use an even older example of selling on Amazon and selling online. Now, I know you don't buy on Amazon very much, but the concept of including a QR code or a little sheet in your packaging. So basically, when you send it to Amazon, it's already overboxed.
Yeah.
So they're not like inspecting what's inside it. You put a little sheet inside and you say, next order, due from my website. And I shit you not, I've seen as much as 50% off to get people to order from the website. And again, it's like higher margins for them.
We do not condone nor recommend this behavior.
I condone this behavior. Amazon has... Jeff, don't come for me.
Do what you can to screw Amazon over, but use them.
No, and also, like, I think what we haven't even touched on that I just thought about is the customer.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not your customer when they buy from big box. You don't get that data. You don't get anything. Whereas if you give them a QR code, if you give them something, like, so basically, let's talk through what's here, right? Okay, so we talked about 15 million, D2C is going down. Your marketing team is like, let's focus all the marketing on wholesale. Okay, great. So now what you do is you do a packaging change, and you say, okay, let's include a QR code on our big box stores. You could even, in theory, if you could try and do this, it would depend on how your purchasing works, maybe even a different QR code for different channels, and create a landing page.
Love that.
Right? For the QR code. So that now you're tracking, you know that every single user that went to this landing page either purchased a product or a product was purchased for them. They have the physical product that was purchased from the big box outlet. Now they're there. Now what are you offering them? Right? Are you offering them a discount on subscriptions? Are you offering a bundle? Are you offering a quiz to help them pick a better option? Are you offering SKUs that maybe you don't sell in big box because big box is carrying your hero SKU? And again, this happened to me today, and I absolutely love it. We should, our next episode should be on what's it called? Welcome offers.
Nice.
And I know it's like I know it's a discussed topic, but I don't think we've discussed it in a while. No, literally today, I thought I had seen them all, but today I saw a cash back welcome offer, and I was like, what does that mean? So 100% I gave them my email, and I would do it again. And basically what happened is I paid full price when I checked out. I then got an email with a Visa gift card option where I could now spend, instead of just getting 20% off, and I get that, like, logically this is the same.
Of course.
Because sure, if I get 20% off, I have that extra money to spend. But now I have a gift card, which is more powerful than a tote.
Cash
I have
money. Baby. Cash me.
So again, now you have elements and you have things that you can do on your online store to at least get that customer's email address, right? Because
well,
if
that's
they
what
were
I was going to say.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You sending them to the landing page. Your goal should be to get that customer's email, get that customer, because then it's yours.
Yeah.
First party data, baby.
First party data.
I feel like we need a sound effect.
That was a little bit long of a drum roll.
Was a little bit.
Oh, wait. Say it again. I have a better one. Say first party data.
First party data. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just like to thank my manager.
This is a 36-second cheering. I also almost, I don't know if you saw me fall backwards. I almost fell backwards.
Are you on your ball?
No, I'm standing. That's why you can't see my sign.
I can't see your hello gorgeous.
I'm standing. I know. I was trying to figure it out. I've been standing all week. Do you know that? I haven't sat down. I haven't sat down this week.
That's fantastic. I think I'm going to try that. I think I might try that.
I like it a lot. I feel more focused and I don't feel tired.
Yeah.
With walking, when I was walking all day, I felt tired. So I think I need to build standing stamina.
I mean, like maybe
all
we
right,
just need to
back
go work
to first party data. First party data, customers, now they're in your flow. Now you can do more things. Now you can provide value in other ways, right?
Yes.
Maybe they're in your flow that's not a sales flow, that's like a general topic flow, or like if you're a hiking, like let's use a hiking company as an example, hiking camping company, right? So I'm at REI, I see, even if I buy a tent and the tent has a QR code that links back to your site.
Yes.
Now you can sell other camping supplies to me that you sell, because maybe REI carries your other products, but I was in the tent aisle. And now you can sell me like a rolling pad and like all this other stuff that you might need. But what's more interesting is now you can send me emails about hiking and camping and the great outdoors and endangered species and whatever else you're doing in your email list that's not sales.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so energized. I just love
it as well. And this is a hard sell coming from our side, because we have people that say, we don't have the budget for online, we don't have the budget for D2C. And it is, what they are always saying is, well, when we can show that we're making a profit, or when we can show that our sales have increased, we'll put more money into D2C. But at the moment, our focus is wholesale. And I'm just like,
well, again, it's the same thing, right? There's a number of things there, right? And I'm pretty sure every single thing we just said would apply to this sort of problem, right? Well, number one, you have to treat them as separate businesses. And you need to invest a little bit of money to make more money to start. So that's number one. You need to actually do that, which sometimes, especially with a company that has, and this is like very interesting from a technical standpoint. If you are a company that has, especially if you're an older company that has multiple channels, you are likely devoting a good amount of resources and money to upkeeping those systems.
Yeah.
That then it's kind of like, again, it's like the dev budget, where it's like you got to separate the tech upkeep to the front end budget. Like they can't really come out of the same dev budget, if that makes sense.
No, you can't. And I get it, because people they're wary of, let's say, creating a custom bundle builder. Because, hey, we don't have much money for online. There are so many apps where you can prove concepts online and then build something really fantastic.
Well, and you know what's amazing too? I probably used to be a little bit weary. Is weary tired or wary tired?
Wary, I used to be a little bit nervous.
I used to be wary.
Whoops.
Sorry, I used to be wary of apps.
Yes.
Primarily because of all of like the code injection and like that would happen.
Of course.
With the apps. But now with Online Store 2.0 and they basically talk about foundations, completely reworked the way apps integrate with stores. So it's like way less scary to uninstall and reinstall an app and like not have to worry about all this code being stuck. Honestly, we have a potential client that needs like a lot of apps and is testing a lot of things. I'm not even worried about. Historically, I would have been so worried about the apps integrating and messing things up. So 1,000,000,000%, you don't need to custom develop something you're testing. Use an app, proof of concept, and then build out exactly what you need. We've talked about that a million times.
Another thing I want to say, the value of getting one customer coming to your store. And I'm not a big fan of loyalty and referral programs. If you could just get them to refer one friend. You don't need to get them to join a program. Just give them something off.
Well, that's another interesting big box to online situation, right? Yes. Where maybe, and again, this is why you can test with big box, right? So again, maybe you have split packaging and 50% of your products have a QR code about referrals. The other 50% of your products are a QR code to have people buy more, provide value in some way, shape, or form, right?
Yeah, you've got the data.
And now you're just testing it and you're like, oh, well, they just bought my product in store. They scan the QR code. They see, well, that's also huge, right? You can't refer a friend to Target and get a discount.
No.
You can refer a friend to the website and get a discount.
Yeah.
So it's like now all of a sudden you're playing in a different ball game where you are still doing every single thing the same with big box. That revenue is not changing. You are still making that money.
Correct.
All you are doing is saying like, you're kind of widening the net a little bit. And you're saying, oh, this person might tell this person. Now person A is getting 10% off online because person B ordered online. And person B tells person C, who prefers to shop in person, so goes to Target. So it's like you're just creating this interesting web of behavior. And I don't know.
In my opinion, I don't see why. I made the product. I get that Target is displaying it for me. But I don't want to give them my customer.
Yeah.
The customer is mine and that data should be mine. So that's it. And that's a great
It's so important. Not to mention when you have, especially in a CPG product that runs out, right? That like you need to get more.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see like if you had a customer for 6 months and then they stopped, it's interesting to see if you can understand why, right? And even to the point where let's say you had a group of 1,000 customers that all stopped around 6 months or X months, between 6 and 9 months, and you had that data. Now you email them and you do a focus group or a survey in exchange for a Visa gift card.
Right.
Say, hey, I'd love to learn more about why you stopped using the product. You know what you can't do that with? Target.
No.
If someone goes from product A to product B at Target, you don't know for shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't know. I just am baffled by and again, even if it's, hey, we need to focus on this for a little while because we're limited on resources and it's giving us good, and by this I mean Target, right? So it's again, you're at that 5 million, you get this PO from Target, it's growing, it's growing, it's growing. You need to direct some of your resources towards it. But once it's doing well, you can then take your earnings and put them back and invest them back into the D2C store.
I would.
I
would look at expansion. I would start looking overseas. I would start looking at global.
So many things.
Shipping, because there's not Target in every damn country.
You know what we haven't talked about actually too much, and we should do another episode on this. It's so easy now to make a Shopify app. Sorry, to make an app out of your Shopify store. Yes. For these CPG products. That now that should be. So we have our 2 next episodes, and we're working on more guests. But I just love talking to Belinda too much.
When are you talking more?
We are going to talk about entry and exit intent offers, as well as, and purchase intent offers, as well as, what did I just say that we were going to talk about?
I don't know. What did you just say that we were going to talk about?
I just said it.
Well, what did you say? I wasn't listening.
Yes, you were.
Was I?
We were talking about apps. Apps. You knew, and you were messing with me. All right. Well, this is a good time.
Into an app. Super easy. Do it.
Chat soon, everybody.